Hello friends, thanks so much for joining me today. With all that's going on in the world right now, many of us are spending more time at home self-isolating or minimizing in-person social interactions. But during a stressful period like this, it's even more important to take some time for self-care, to find ways to lift our spirits so we minimize our stress levels. And one way to do this is to focus on things that bring fun and joy into our lives, that simply make us smile. So I'm excited to share with you today 5 ways that those of us who are over 50, 60, or beyond can lift our mood by playing with color and makeup. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Elise. I'm a professional working makeup artist who's passionate about helping those of us who are over 50 look on the outside how we feel on the inside, so we can look and feel our confident best. You'll find new videos on my channel every Thursday, and I hope you'll join our family of subscribers. And if you also hit that bell icon below the video and to the right, you'll automatically be notified each time we have a new video available. And I thank you so much in advance if you choose to do so. Now let's take some time to have some fun. First, I'd like to ask you to think back to your childhood for a moment. Do you remember the excitement that you felt when you opened up a new box of crayons, for instance? When I was 7, I vividly remember how excited I was to open up a new box of 64 crayons. After flipping open that cardboard cover, there was that unmistakable, one-of-a-kind smell of waxy crayonness, if that's even a word. But then the real joy set in when I saw the amazing rainbow range of colors contained in that small box. Who can forget raw umber, burnt sienna, cornflower, and magenta? It makes me want to buy a 64-count box of crayons right now, as a matter of fact. I bet you remember some of your favorite colors as well, and perhaps a favorite coloring book. And by the way, here's a little bit of crayon trivia. In 2008, an average child in the US would use more than 730 crayons by the time he or she turned 10. Well, unfortunately, I haven't opened a new box of crayons for a while, but I must confess that I get a similar feeling every time I see a beautiful new blush color or an amazing colorful eyeshadow palette. The lavenders, the magentas, cobalt blues, and warm corals in an eyeshadow palette especially, along with an assortment of different formulations like matte, shimmer, metallic, and glitter formulations, can sometimes absolutely take my breath away. So here are a couple of amazing eyeshadow palettes that I want to share with you. First of all, this is a palette made by a company called Viseart, and I'll show you this wonderful array of colors. And as you can see, there are different formulations here. There are shimmers, there are mattes, and there are also just some really wonderful duochromes that give a lighter shimmer kind of look. So those are absolutely gorgeous. I especially love the purple mixed with the oranges. The next palette I want to share with you is one from Juvia's Place. And I'm sure you've heard me talk about Juvia's Place if you've seen any of my earlier videos. This is an amazing combination of colors, from the dark brown in the upper row to those pinks to that gorgeous, I don't know if you'd call that sort of a light teal color at the end of the middle row, and then some beautiful colors on the bottom row as well. There's a gorgeous silver, and then also there's sort of a rusty orange at the bottom. This is a palette called The Deuce from Juvia's Place. Here's another Juvia's Place palette. This is one I have not used yet, so I may play with this one today. It's called the Festival Palette. And you can probably see why it's called the Festival Palette with all those amazing colors. And there is, as in most Juvia's Place palettes, a range of mattes as well as shimmers and some metallic colors as well. So today, let's banish the news and stress for a while and focus on 5 ways to have fun with color and makeup. First, let's shop our current lipstick, gloss, and lip liner stash. Do you have some lipsticks you've put aside because they just weren't quite the right color? I think that's certainly true for most of us. So why not pull them out along with some of your other lipsticks and try combining some of those colors to create some new colors that just might end up being perfect for you. Let's try some examples. I first have a color that's from Clinique. This is called Raspberry Pop, and I'm just going to put this on my wrist here. Now I'm going to try another color, and this one is another Clinique color. It's a little bit lighter. This is called Love Pop, and as you can see, it's slightly lighter. This next one is from L'Oreal. This doesn't have a name that I can see. It's just designated as lipstick 707, but as you can see, it's a pretty deep color. I'm going to put this on my wrist next, but it has a definite violet or plum kind of undertone to it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some lighter colored lipsticks. I have a couple different ones here. I have one from Rimmel and I have one from Milani. These are light pink colors, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play a little bit and put some of these lighter colors over these deeper colors and see what I come up with. I'm going to start with the Milani, and I'm going to just put this over the one side. As you can see, it really changes the color of that lipstick, and then I'm going to put it on the one side of another of the lipsticks that I tried earlier. And then I'm going to do finally that last deeper plum color and see what happens. This is certainly a change from the deeper, darker original colors that I started with. And this is frankly what I'd want to do. I'd want to lighten up those colors. Now I'm going to take the Rimmel lipstick and I'm going to put that on the opposite side and see if there's much difference. You can see it certainly lightened up those colors, but not quite as much as the other lipstick did. But certainly that would be a way I would want to go. The other thing you can do, and this is always fun, is to take a lip gloss and to try putting that over a color. Even if I started out with a very deep color, and I think I'm going to use the L'Oreal color for this again, go back to that plummy color. I'm going to put this again down here, and then I'm going to put it with a lip gloss. And this is one that I found recently that I really thought would be kind of fun. This is from Pixie, which is usually available at Target. And as you can see, it has sort of a metallic glitter to it. It's called Bonbon. And by the way, I will put the names of all these products that I'm trying in the description box below. So let's see what the Bonbon color does to this violet. It definitely gives a little bit more spark to that rather deep plum color. And then I'm going to try a little bit of it over the other colors that we played with. And that gloss just adds a little bit more glow. I don't know how well this is coming across on the camera, but it certainly adds just a little bit more life and vibrancy to those colors. I'm going to take one other gloss, which is kind of an interesting one. This is from Milani, and as you can see, it's a very light pink, and I want to see what this color might do. It's a doe foot applicator, and I'm going to put this on the other side of these colors. We'll see what we come up with. Again, you don't notice a huge difference from the other lip gloss I used, but it certainly does add some vibrancy and life to those colors. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to wipe my arm off, because if I don't, I will get this all over everything. So let me take a minute just to do that. So playing with those colors, I certainly found some combinations that I might want to take a look at and use in the future. And these are lipsticks I've had in my stash for quite a while, which I simply hadn't taken the time to play with. So that's what's fun about this, to go back into things that you already have and try some combinations that you might not have tried earlier. I was telling my daughter what I was thinking of doing in this video, and she said, "Mom, I don't think I've ever seen you wear that color lipstick." And what I was talking about with her was using a red lip color. That's what my mother wore all the time. It looked absolutely stunning on her, but for some reason, I've just never gotten much into wearing red. Well, I think now is the time of any time to break it out and see what fun we can have with a red color. So I'm going to choose from one of these. This is a lip palette from NYX. As you can see, they're all different kinds of reds in here. You can see those reds a little bit better this way. So there are certainly an orange red in here, several orange reds, and then more of a true red, and then some very deep blue reds as well. I also have this lipstick from Revlon, which is a beautiful deep red color. And I think this is called Bombshell Red, which I think is very appropriate. Then I'm also going to use a red lip liner with it. And I'm going to do that in just a little bit. But first I want to go in and talk about some other makeup. And at the end, we'll try on a lot of these different things. Another thing we can do is to see how different lip liners look under different lipsticks, or as I demonstrated earlier, how different glosses can affect different lipsticks by making them lighter or darker. The second thing we can do is try out different eyeshadows as eyeliner and maybe go outside our comfort zone by putting a fun color just on top of our regular eyeliner. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Now this hand, by the way, still has a lot of lipstick color on it. Couldn't quite get it all off in one swipe of a Kleenex. So here is what I'm talking about. This is a gorgeous cobalt blue eyeliner pencil. That is one from Maybelline. Gorgeous, isn't it? Beautiful color. But you could also go into some of your eyeshadows and use different colors here as eyeshadow. And the one I'm really keeping my eye open for is that blue at the very bottom of this Juvia's Place Festival palette. That could be a gorgeous accent color for the eyes. The third thing we can do is pick out a few different blushes to try on, and I'll show you what I'm thinking about. This is a new blush that I picked up recently. This is from Pixie, and I love it sort of looks like a deodorant, doesn't it? Which is really kind of strange. But I love the fact there's some illumination in this blush, and it also is really easy to glide on. It's a gorgeous pink color, as you can see. This comes, I think, in two other colors as well. I wasn't able to find this at my brick and mortar Target, but I was able to find it online. Another blush that I've really wanted to try for a while is from a company called RMS. And this company really prides themselves on having clean products with only ingredients that have no kind of harmful impact. This I am sort of excited about. This is kind of a plummy color, which I'm thinking might go really well with that red lipstick that I might be using a little bit later on. We'll see. This glides on so beautifully. It's a cream blush, and it also can be used as a lip color as well, which is kind of fun. The fourth thing we can do is try out new bronzers, highlighters, or contouring products. A highlighter that I've recently received as a gift actually from my daughter, which is going to be fun, I think, to try. I've not tried it at all. It's by Kevyn Aucoin, and it's called Glass Glow. It's really beautiful. I'm a little concerned that it might be just a little too bright and glowy, but we'll give it a shot and see what we think. The other thing I want to share with you, and I usually use cream products, as you know if you've watched any of my other videos, but there's some really wonderful powder bronzers or contouring powders out there. And there's one in particular that's gotten a lot of positive reviews by a number of YouTubers and others. And that's one made by Physicians Formula. So I'd like to show it to you. And what I am going to do is step away from the camera in a little bit and put on my foundation. And then I'm going to apply a little bit of powder over my foundation so the bronzer can glide on when it's a powder formulation over the powder. But I want to show you this Physicians Formula piece that I'm going to be working from. This is an amazing array of products from Physicians Formula. I bought it before the holidays, but actually I just checked their website and it is still available on their website. I will open this up. You will be amazed at what's in here. This has a lot of their regular products in here as well as some limited edition things. But it does have the bronzer in here that we'll be using that is regularly available from Physicians Formula. Let me open this up and show you what all is in here. It's really kind of fun. This is an amazing array of eyeshadows on one side and different bronzer colors on the other side. And we're going to be working with one of the bronzer colors at the very bottom. And then when you open this up further, you have your eyeshadows, you have your blushes, and you have lip colors. But wait, that's not all. There is more. You open up this other side, there's a mirror, which I haven't opened up yet. It's in that flat pink area. And there are also blushes. So you really have just about everything you need in this one box for makeup that you're going to do, except for foundation. So again, let me show you the front of this. What's also handy is on the back, they list the names of all the products, which is really helpful as well. So that's what we're going to be using for our bronzer today. And I frankly saved the most fun for last, which are our eyeshadow palettes. And I did share with you earlier in the video the ones that we're going to be working from, so we'll be launching into those shortly. So I've gone ahead and applied my lipstick, which is that Bombshell Red by Revlon, along with the Revlon Red Lip Liner. It certainly takes a little bit of getting used to see myself in a red lipstick, but it's really fun giving it a go. I've also put on my foundation and concealer and powder, and I'll share with you what I used. It's a little too light for me, as you could probably tell, so brightening my face up with a little blush and a little illuminator and also some bronzer is really going to make a difference. I started with this product from Kojendo, which is a makeup color base, which is really a primer. And then I used their moisture foundation from Kojendo. And I followed that up by using their concealer. But as you can see, my face looks quite flat right now because I've evened out my skin tone, and I'm now going to give a little bit more contrast to my face. So I'm going to be adding highlighter and blush and then some bronzer. So the highlighter, as I mentioned earlier, is by Kevyn Aucoin. It's really gorgeous. It's called Glass Glow Face. I am not sure how this is going to work. It has a pump tube, so I'm going to take a little bit and put it on the back of my hand. I think I'm going to shake this up first. So I put a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm going to go with a very light touch on this because I have a hunch this is going to be pretty darn glowy. So I'm just going to put it on. Oh, that is pretty. Just going to put it on the upper area of my cheekbone. It definitely does give a glow. I don't know if you can see the difference that has made. I'm going to put a little bit so I match on the other cheek. That is really quite lovely. It blends in so well. Then I'm going to try a little bit of blush underneath the highlighter. This is the RMS blush that I mentioned earlier that can also be used as a lip color. And I'm just going to dot a little bit on right underneath where I put the highlighter. And obviously with blush, it's important to start with just a little bit and gradually build. You can always build it up, but it's awfully darn hard, as we all know, once we put it on, if we get too much on, to remove it. So this adds a really nice little flush of color. So you can see, I'm going to build it up just a little bit more because we do have a pretty bright red lip. All right, so I'm going to do the other side, and as you'll notice, my placement is on the middle part of my cheekbones, and I bring it up, fighting against gravity the whole time, which is part of the name of the game for makeup as we get a little bit older. Okay, so that added a flush to my face. I like that color. That's really pretty. It's not nearly as dark as it looks when you first look at it in the jar. It's very sheer, which is really nice. I definitely like both those products, both the Kevyn Aucoin Illuminator, which really, oh, it blends in so nicely and easily, as well as the RMS blush. Now we're going to try the bronzer from Physicians Formula, and I'm going with the deepest color. It's called a contouring bronzer, and I'm just going to dip my brush in here, and then I'm going to start at the back. Ooh, that's a lot. Whoa, okay, there's a lot that came off on that brush, so obviously you only need a little bit, so I'm going to wipe off some of that and then blend it in. I'm not sure if I'm liking this quite as much as I'd hoped, but I'll try the other side, see what we think. Also going to put some along the top of my forehead, just blend that in, because I have a very high forehead, and that does help. And then also going to take some and just taking a little tap of it. I learned my lesson putting on too much earlier. I'm going to go along my jawline. And again, whoops, just to make that jawline a little bit tighter and firmer looking by making it recede a bit, because I have certainly tended to get a little jowly as time has gone on here. Now, I don't have it here with me, but what I would ordinarily do to blend this in even better would be I would take my foundation brush and I would go over the edges of all of this so it would really blend in seamlessly. So I'm just going to use my finger, see if maybe that makes a difference as well. Okay, I think we're going to go with eyeshadow next. With eyeshadow, you might try pairing together a neutral eyeshadow color with a color you don't normally wear. Or perhaps you might want to try some different eyeshadow formulations. For example, if you normally wear all matte shadow, maybe add a metallic or shimmer to your look. Or if you normally wear some shimmer or metallic, perhaps try an all matte look. Or you can pair together a neutral with two other colors you've never tried before. Remember, we're just playing and having fun, and we can always just wipe it off if we don't like it, which is really the good news. Another thing you can do is put a color over another color to change the look of that color. For instance, you might want to put a gold over a purple. So let's play with a little bit of eyeshadow. I'm going to go with this Juvia's Place Festival palette. I'm going to start off with those more neutral colors in the middle row. I'm going to combine a little bit of both of them. And then I think I'm going to add a little bit of this lighter color up here. And then I'm going to go for a little bit of this gorgeous blue color as well. We'll see how this works. I've never tried this before. I'm going to start off using this little fluffy brush. I'm going to combine that light mustardy color with a little bit of a peach color, tap it off. And then I'm going to put this in my crease and slightly above my crease since I have hooded eyes. These are both matte shadows, which really work well in the crease area. And I'm going to bring them just across. Add a little bit more to my brush here. And I'm just adding a light wash of color just to serve as a base for the other colors I want to use. And as you can tell, it's starting to make a little bit of a difference here. And I'm going straight across to lift my eye area. Now, I'm not going to blend this all in yet. I'm going to wait to blend it till I get most of my color on. In this area, I think I've changed my mind. I think I'm going to go with, believe it or not, I'm going to go with that gorgeous pink color, bright pink color that's in the middle of the middle row. I'm going to wipe off my brush and use that same brush just to tap it off, just to put it a little bit in front. I'm going to use that same color, put it on a little bit more toward my inner eye and then slightly above the color that I was using in the crease. And now I'm going to take my small blending brush. I'm going to blend those colors in. Okay, we'll see what it's looking like right now. And then I'm going to take that blue color. I'm going to put that more on a flat brush. Now this color definitely, well, it kind of matches my top. It has a little bit of shimmer to it. So I'm going to lay that down just on the outer edge of my eye. So it's deepening that outer corner. And then I'm going to take my blending brush again. I've added some mascara to my top lashes and to my bottom lashes. I also added a little bit more contouring, but this time I took my e.l.f. Cream Contour palette and used a little bit of that to blend in over the powder with the powder bronzer. I have to say that I kind of do like this eyeshadow look. maybe would have softened that pink a tiny bit, but the pink blending into the blue I think is kind of fun. I really enjoyed that. I also really love that new illuminating product from Kevyn Aucoin and that beautiful cream blush that really glided on from RMS. And as I mentioned, I'll include all of the names of these products in the description box. Not quite sure how I feel about the red lipstick. It is a jolt to try a different color on that you're absolutely not used to wearing. I'm far more comfortable with a pinky plum kind of look, but I think I'll just wear it for a little bit and see how I feel about it. So I hope this video took your mind off, at least for a short time, some of the more serious things in the news for a while, and inspired you to spend some time playing with color and makeup. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. And if you know of anyone else, friends or family, who might also enjoy a fun color and makeup break, I hope you'll share this video with them as well. And in the comments section below, I hope you'll let me know what kinds of colors and things that you've played with or you might enjoy playing with. And also maybe what some of your favorite Crayola crayon colors were as well. Thanks again for joining me. I hope you have a very happy rest of your day and especially a very healthy and safe rest of your day. Take care and hope to see you next Thursday.